Here we are, part 2 of this vlog of James High Octane Lanham fishing on the High Octane's Obsessions YouTube channel here at an undisclosed trout impoundment in central western New South Wales. I've just changed this McGrath hard-bodied lure. I figured the green might go well with, if there's redfin, and all of those bait fish are green in colour, and redfin definitely have a green tinge to them. Yeah, so hopefully if we get a redfin are fairly cannibalistic, and if no redfin, we might get, who knows, trout following that, or a cod or something. Let's see how we go. Feels a lot heavier than I felt in the hand on the rod. This is an ultralight rod and a 1000 Sedona reel, so has a bit of flick, a bit of finesse, a bit of sensitivity to it. Obviously shouldn't use too heavy lures on these ultralight rods. Yeah, it casts fairly well. I wouldn't say beautifully, but fairly well. Figured it looks a bit more like a fish than the blue fox spinner that I was using earlier, and if you can see that, that looks brilliant. Yeah, and there's little bait fish either chasing it or being spooked. Hopefully this does the job. Oh, we're not. Yeah, we're not. That cast failed as miserably as my good mate Mitch Christian or whatever the fuck his name is, does at life. Same with my good mates Luke, Andrew and Dan, and all their cohorts. Yeah, geez, tangled up here. Haven't got the most faith in these hooks. They're a bit, well, the red finish on them's come off, but hopefully it doesn't mean they lost any of their sharpness. There we go, nearly got it hooked in my crumb. That would have been quite the funny video. Would have even probably, if they let me at the hospital, put parts of them taken out of me. Imagine that, video at the hospital of a treble being taken out of my crumb. Fishing lure being removed from pro wrestler's crumb. That would go viral, you'd think. If a cute dog goes viral, and rightfully so. Local wrestler and wrestling promoter's crumb out here in Cowra, New South Wales. If it has a fishing lure in it, should probably go viral also. Here's me once again reading too much into everything. Looking into every possible scenario. I should just be doing the fishing rather than thinking about getting a lure caught in my crumb when it only nearly happened. It didn't really happen. Here we go. When you deal with some of the dickheads I deal with, though, you can understand the paranoia. But I've turfed all those dickheads and don't deal with them anymore, whether from my own promotion or from other promotions out of my life. Fucked them right off. Now I'm just doing my own thing. I'm doing it for Emma and her charity. We might have to go away from the swimming area soon so as not to hook any of the recreational swimmers. I reckon they'd be quite perturbed if I was to hook them, especially in the crumb or equivalent. It might still be tangled. No, we got away, that's the problem. I'll start heading back over the damn wall. Over to the other side again. I'll even try off the lower parts of the dam wall too. Lots of weed here. That's not doing me any good. I think the lure change might have been a mistake. Although the Celta would have probably caught that big bit of weed as well. I want to go for a swim now here in that the exclamations of joy and surprise at the cold water. Don't mind a bit of cold water. Those who know me know I used to go swimming in the Lachlan River before all my nerve issues, and also some of the dams in the middle of winter out here, and even at this higher point further past Cara, but at Cara as well. I was quite the lunatic. Still am. Just ever so slightly more sensible in terms of what I'll expose my body and mind to. It's only taken me 37 years to start taking somewhat care of myself. Yeah, and purple flowers, that's nice. I wish they'd get some of that vegetation out of there so we could fish there easily, but maybe it's for insects and stuff. They might leave it native insects and probably it's native growth, at least some of it. The kabungi's not much good though. Kabungi is such a nuisance. Out at the family farm, it wreaks havoc in the creek. That pipe's what used to suck the water up into the man-made creek up there. It's that long thing shaped like a long bendy man's crumb. Currently no longer used. That's a floater, so no good to sink down. Nah. Good to stay out of the weed, but no good for jigging, obviously. Looks good though, looks pretty sweet. Trying to see if we can get something raise up and strike that in the surface. Takes away the ability to jig having a floating lure, but it keeps us out of the weed, which is good. Might do a long cast, long broad stroke across the forehead, and if you know, you know. And bring that back. Get as much retrieving distance as we can. Hopefully something comes up from the bottom and strikes that. No. No good, no biteable fish, all only bait fish that was seen today. Okay, one more cast here, and we'll go back to the other side. Let's take proceedings over to the other side. There's that causeway, which is that, and that spillway. Yeah, I didn't leave any of my stuff on that jetty, I think. Nope. I'm paranoid about leaving stuff behind when fishing, or just anything in general. The duck's down there. There's Dad and Richard on that jetty, way out over there in that corner. And that yellow boy. Do a couple of casts off this end of the wall, and then we'll go back onto the bank and the jetties and such, and then maybe for a swim. We might do more fishing after that. Might be a part 3, but depends how long Father Dearest and Richard want to stay. Any locals watching this from the area probably know where I am. I'm going to reveal it because it's usually the fishing thing not to reveal your spots, so as people don't come and mooch off your fish. Good, that's looking good in there. That looks beautiful. Might do a huge long cast off there. So you should be trying to land anything we get. We'd have to go around to the bank. Got caught by the wind, didn't go as far as I wanted it to. Beautiful. That feels good. There's a satisfaction just of a good retrieve, even if nothing bites it. Obviously far better if something bites it. Look at those clouds and that sun. Look at that. Might get some rain here soon. We do need it. One more off here and then we'll go to the bank and then for a swim. And maybe more later, maybe more fishing later, we'll just see. Right. Retrieve into the shallows, see if we can pick something up in the shallow water as we come back. Geez, that feels nice. You can see wake and feel on these really like good quality. I know there's far better quality, but good quality by my budget rods. These graphite rods, you can really feel every tip, every touch, anything that hits that line, even if it's not a fish. But you definitely know when it is a fish, unlike the thicker, like the old school fiberglass rods, you doubt if something's a fish, but these more modern sensitive rods, you know when it's a fish. And often too, you know when you've hit a snag, so sometimes you can pull out of it and not lose your lure. You can pull out of it quick enough if it's only not totally hooked onto the snag. A lot of bait fish down there. We might try in amongst this grass as much as possible. This is doggy capital, this place. Tempted to bring my doggos here, but Missy's a bit young yet. She's overly friendly and would maul out of friendliness any animal or person she meets. Doggy. Lots of doggies. Yeah, lots of bait fish too. Yeah, look at all those bayfish. Surely we should hook something soon. Yeah, weed's too thick here. So I'll love you and leave you. Go in for a bit of a swim. Jeez, look at all those. And then there may be more fishing afterwards. Just depends on how long the family dearest want to stay after I have a carrot dip instead of a Greek dip in this water. And I'll either see you in the next video on this playlist, or I'll see you in whatever I do next. I'll see you at the show.